This is the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 14. It says, "The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly." All right. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Hakwadash. I would like to give double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that's still teaching this truth, and much peace, love, and salutation to the elect, beginning with the 144,000 all the way down to the large multitude that believes and who the Lord will deliver in these last days. To you all I say shalom. I'm the brother Tazamah from the Great Millstone Dallas Camp, coming back today with another lesson, and I pray this lesson will be edifying to the elect. And the first scripture that I open up with is in the book of Revelation 11, chapter the 14th verse, where it tells you that the second woe is past, which that second woe being past is talking about World War II. All right, because, the world as we know it has had, there's been plenty of conflicts in world history, of course. But, all right, there hasn't been a war like World War I, which when World War I took place, you can read about that in Revelation, the ninth chapter. It goes into World War I. All right, the death and the magnitude and destruction, all right, that came from World War I and the technology that was used during World War I, all right? And then World War II, the death scale was even higher due to technology increasing. You had fighter jets and some, technology increased and weaponry increased. But as we come closer and closer to World War III, this is going to be a war, all right, which it says the third woe cometh quickly. That's, World War I, World War II, and World War III. Okay? As a matter of fact, let me actually get this real quick. Just give me 1 second. Let me just park my car. Let me actually grab this real quick. Whoa. What's a Revelation? Yep, this is here it is right here. This is Revelation chapter 8. Yeah, let's right, let's read Revelation 8:13 first. And then I'm going to get the few articles. This is Revelation chapter 8. All right, Revelation chapter 8 verse 13, it says and I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, "Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, by reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the three angels which are yet to sound." And that woe, woe, woe is World War I, World War II, and World War III. Because woe means destruction. When you get that word woe, it means like a lamentation, a grief, like somebody's lamenting. That word woe is why, alas, woe. All right. It says down here. It says it says an interjection of grief or of denunciation. Okay, it mentioned grief. All right, which World War III is going to bring a great grief, all right, to the planet Earth, specifically here in America. Okay, now let's get the next scripture here, Revelation 9. All right, this is Revelation chapter 9. Revelation chapter 9, verse 12. All right, it says, "One woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter." You see, that one woe is past is talking about World War I, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter, and that's World War II and World War III. Now, it doesn't really go into detail about World War II, but it goes into detail about World War I in Revelation the 9th chapter, as we're here, and World War III. All right, and you can read about World War III and all various different types of prophecies, man. Isaiah the 13th chapter. All right, Jeremiah 50, 51, parts of Revelation chapter 12. All right. So on and so forth. Joel the 3rd chapter. All the valleys getting all the nations going down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, or Yahweh Shaphat. You see? Salakia. And that's the woe, that's the war. All right, that's going to be the war to end all wars. Okay, there's a reason as to why. Let me get this real quick, and I promise I'm gonna get to the article. Albert Einstein was used by Yahweh Shai, as well as other individuals like Robert Oppenheimer. You know, you had the Manhattan Project. You know, that was used to create the, you know, the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. Um, war. I'm gonna type in war, sticks, and stones. Let me just type that in. Maybe the quote might pop up. Right, the famous quote attributed to Albert Einstein: "I know not, I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought." Right, which the weapons that World War III is going to be fought with is going to be with. Well, let's get the scripture to prove it. Let's get Isaiah the 9th chapter. It's Isaiah chapter 9 verse 5. It says, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and garments rolled in blood." All right, that's how the ancient battles used to be fought. It used to be close contact, you know, close battle. You know, you would have people screaming because a sword is getting thrust through their ribs, or somebody's head or somebody's arm getting cut off. You know, but it was even like that going into it was even like that going into the Civil War. You know, the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, things of that nature. It was guns. You know, but it was still, you know, more. It was it was still more so ancient too. You know, but now, as we're going to read, it says, "But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire." What's going to be that burning and fuel of fire? It's going to be the ICBM thermonuclear missiles. Okay, the missiles that'll be shot from one end of the earth to the other. All right, my sword shall be bathed in heaven, and it shall come down upon Idumea, upon the people of my curse, as it says in Isaiah 34. All right. So going back to the quote, this is the famous quote attributed to Albert Einstein: "I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones." You see that? So he said that he like, man, look, I don't know the kind of weapons that World War III gonna have, but if there would be a World War IV, which there's not, you know, leave it up to the IUIC and Bishop Nathaniel. All right, they'll tell you that it's going to be a World War IV because Gog and Magog is going to try to come up against us in the heaven. You know, when we're in our heavenly bodies in the kingdom of heaven. You know, that bullshit, that madness, right? But there's not going to be no World War IV. That's why it tells you that that they're going to beat. As a matter of fact, let's get this real quick. Let me get to the article. Just bear with me. Isaiah chapter 2. All right, getting straight to the point. Isaiah chapter 2 verse 4. Now this is whenever the kingdom of heaven is established. The Israelites are on top underneath Yahushua and King David. You know, the 144,000. All right, Israel is going to be the governing body on the planet Earth. Right. Isaiah 2 and 4 it says, "And he shall judge." It says, "And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks." You see all the weaponry. All right, all the weaponry that was used, all right, to fight in this world war is all going to be destroyed. There's another scripture. There's another scripture. It's in Ezekiel. This is Ezekiel 39 verse 9, and this is after World War III. This is after this is pretty much after World War III. The land of Israel, all right, is going to be completely blown the hell up. America going to be already destroyed, but our land going to be built back up. And the first job of the global elite are going to have to be to go around, you know, putting flags where the dead bodies are, and then somebody going around and burying people going around. I'd rather say the elite, they're going to be put in captivity, and their first job is going to be to pretty much bury all those dead bodies that'll be laying there in that valley in the region of the world. Okay. Ezekiel 39 verse 9 it says, "And they that dwell in the cities of Israel shall go forth, and shall set on fire and burn the weapons, both the shields and the bucklers, the bows and the arrows, and the handstaves and the spears, and they shall burn them with fire 7 years." See the weaponry that the heathen had, and the quote unquote technology that the heathen had. It's all going to be destroyed. So it says, so that they shall take no wood out of the field, neither cut down any out of the forest, for they shall burn the weapons with fire. See that's going to be used for fire. Okay, it's burning those weapons. It says, "For they shall burn the weapons with fire, and they shall spoil those they shall spoil those that spoiled them, and rob those that robbed them, saith the Lord Yahweh." See that? So that's going to be, there's not going to be a World War IV. And like I mentioned earlier with Bishop Nathaniel and the IUIC, you're not going to have Gog Magog, which is Russia, Magog means from Gog, rise up and say, we can defeat them. However the hell Bishop Nathaniel said that shit. We can defeat them. No, that's not going to happen because the weapons are going to be burnt up. And we're going to be in our spiritual bodies anyway. So that doesn't make any sense. So going back to Isaiah 2, it says, and he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. See that? So there's not going to be a World War IV. All right. It says, let's see, while Einstein was a pacifist, the earlier known instance of this quote appeared in 2000. Now that Einstein's right. So they're saying that Einstein didn't say this, which I believe that he did, but it was attributed to Albert Einstein. But anyways, the reason as to why I want to do this lesson is because I seen this article here. This is from dailycallerNewsFoundation.org. It says Putin orders largest military conscription since 2011 as Ukraine peace talks stall. So you've had these so-called peace talks that's been going on between Russia and the Ukraine, and America's trying to America has quote unquote attempted to be a buffer state between Russia and the Ukraine, and they've had moments where the fighting has ceased for a little bit, and then there was recently, I want to say like either last week, how there was an assassination attempt on Putin. They blew up one of their oil refineries, and that's really Yahweh Bashem Shai, just keeping that fire, keeping that spark and keeping that spark going, so that when it hits the powder keg, everything can explode. Now we understand and know via prophecy that the least of the flock is going to draw America out, which the least of the flock is talking about Israel, which Israel, recently has vowed that they was going to attack Iran within 24 hours. So we could see something happen today, maybe something happen this evening, take place between Israel and Iran. That's soon to be seen, but they did state that matter of fact, let me just to prove what I'm saying, let me go here and just show y'all real quick, because I was going to do a lesson on this yesterday. I didn't get around to it, but here it is right here. Israel, and this is yesterday, April 1st. Oh, I'm sorry, this is April. Today's the 3rd. So today's the 3rd, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, today's the 3rd. So this is 2 days ago. So nothing has happened as of yet. But that doesn't mean that nothing won't happen. All right. It says Israel vows large-scale attack on Iran within 24 hours. Okay. It says Israel has vowed a large-scale attack on Iran within the next 24 hours, with its war cabinet green-lighting the strike tonight, according to Israel's Channel 14, Hebrew Channel 14, and state television. The dramatic escalation promises a fierce response to Tehran's provocations, signaling a perilous new chapter in the simmering conflict between the two nations. And it does not the scripture say that in the last days perilous times shall come? And that word perilous means dangerous. Bad times, which this is really gonna heighten Jacob's trouble, because we know of key pieces in prophecy. Of course, is America, Babylon the Great. Russia, which is Gog, Magog, Iran, which is Persia, and then the state of Israel. China, Turkey, Ethiopia, all these various different nations, that are listed within the scriptures that are going to be used during World War III. Okay, a large-scale attack on Iran will begin soon, an unprecedented assault since World War II. This is April 1st. Now, mind you, this is on so-called April Fool's Day, so it could be some bullshit or some madness going on like that. But we don't take when we see things like this. When we see things like this happen, all right, we got to report on it. Let's play this real quick. I'm gonna go back. Fair use, by the way. Fair use.
تطورات. ذكرت القناة الرابعة عشر الإسرائيلية أن هجوما واسعا على إيران سيكون قريبا جدا.
I don't know what the hell she's saying, so we're not gonna watch that. But Russia warns of catastrophic consequences after Trump threatens to bomb Iran. See that? Russia warns of catastrophic consequences after Trump threatens to bomb Iran. Moscow has condemned Trump's warning to bomb Iran if it refuses a new nuclear deal, calling it an unacceptable ultimatum. See that? And this lines right up. All right, this lines right up with let's get Revelation 20. All right, this is Revelation chapter 20, going down to the point. Verse 7, it says, and when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, which this is after, this is after the Byzantine Empire. All right, this is after the fact whenever the Dark Ages commenced. The bubonic, or as known as the Black Plague, spread across Europe, in parts of Asia Minor where we were ruling and we were put down, and the Renaissance period came on the scene, which Renaissance means rebirth. And Esau pretty much got his foothold back into the world power. He pretty much restructured the art. He restructured history and whitewashed iconoclasm, so on and so forth. That's another lesson for another time. Verse 8, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth. Deceive the nations which is in the four quarters of the earth. This is when Esau would get a foothold into the fatness of the earth. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, the whole earth. Okay? It says Gog and Magog, which is Russia, to gather them together to battle. The number of whom is as the sand of the sea. You see that? So that's the purpose of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. It's for this is part of the Lord's program for Esau to do this. Okay? It says, and they went up on the breadth of the earth, and compassed the camp of the saints round about, and the beloved city. And fire came down from heaven, and fire came down from the Most High out of heaven and devoured them. See that? So they're going to try to make a roll. They're going to try to roll on the men of the Lord, lining up with 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter. They should be like madmen sparing none, but that's when the Lord's going to lift up a standard, because it goes down into America ultimately being destroyed. Okay? So we're living in some heightened times where, these wars and rumors of wars, they're no longer just going to be rumors. They're going to be, it's going to be a commencement that's going to take place. Excuse me. It says Trump, if Iran doesn't agree to a deal, there will be a bombing. And Trump is a goddamn man. He's a madman. Okay? This is that cruel Lord spoken about in Isaiah the 19th chapter. Trump is that man. You see? All right, so the scriptures talk about how, nation will be against nation and kingdom against kingdom. There should be earthquakes in diverse places. There was just a huge earthquake in Thailand that happened, what was it, last week? There was a 6.2 or 6.6 magnitude earthquake in Japan yesterday. So things are heating up. Putin orders largest military conscription since 2011 as Ukraine peace talks stall. And what is a conscription? Compulsory enlistment for state services, typically into the armed forces. So a conscription is another way of saying a military draft. Okay? Why is Russia having the largest military draft since 2011? Because wars coming down the line, man. And with this conscription going on in Russia, there's been conscriptions in Poland. They're talking about conscriptions in the UK. What do you think is going to happen here in America? There's going to be a conscription or a military draft here in America, where a lot of these jakes, a lot of these young jakes, these YN, the young niggas, a lot of the Pookie Ray Rays, a lot of these so-called Black, Latino, and Native American men and women are going to be drafted into this war. And they're not going to come back. Okay, they're not even going to come back in a body bag. Their ass going to be burnt the hell up over there in the Middle East. And that's going to be judgment from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It says Putin is aiming to enlist 160,000 men between 18 and 30 years old from April to July 25th as Russia aims to further expand its military. President Donald Trump, who has negotiated with both countries, said in an NBC News interview Sunday that he was pissed off at Putin for allegedly stalling peace progress. Right? And like I said, man, hey, the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has been on Trump on the left-hand side, all right, to make, these particular things happen. I ain't gonna say the left-hand side, really it's the right-hand side, because we need World War III to happen so that what? Ultimately the kingdom of heaven can be established. All right? Let's see, just kind of skimming through here. So yeah, there's definitely going to be a World War, there's definitely going to be a military draft, and these various different nations are being prepared. All right, let's get a few scriptures on that. Let's get Isaiah the 3rd chapter, the last few verses. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 25, it says, Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war. What war is this talking about? This war is talking about World War III. And her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. Talking about these women. You see, because a lot of these women that may have men, that they may have a man or a boyfriend, whatever the case may be, because you also gonna have women that's gonna be sent over there too. But you could have a family, whatever the case may be, and and then your baby daddy or your husband, whatever, gets drafted. He get that letter in the mail that he has been selected to go over there to Israel or Iraq. You ain't coming back. That's gonna cause a lot of these women out here to have no kind of protection, which is also going to be judgment from Yahweh Bashem Shah on these women too. You see, because that's when the natural roles are going to be seen. That's when nature is going to nature's going to turn its course. All right. Let's get this real quick. Second Ezra 16. Hold on. Let's see. Bear with me just 1 second. I think I might already passed it. Yeah, I did pass it. I know it's around something 30 something verse. Yep. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 33. It says the virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. See, and the virgins are talking about young women, maidens, pretty much women, right? The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. You see that? Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. So these women are going to be caught out here bad, especially when World War III hits, man. Because you're going to have a lot of males and a lot of men who are going to be sent over there to the Middle East. It says, in the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Because even when that war comes, man, you're going to have, these trucks ain't finna be moving like that. You think it's going to be a well-flowing economy when that takes place? The answer is no. It's going to be all kinds of hell and turmoil and shit hitting the fan over here in America, man. Where the cities are going to be blocked off. Food going to be rationed out to you. Like it tells you in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. They shall desire to go into a city, but shall not be able to. You see? So it's gonna be polycrisis is taking place. Look up that word, poly meaning many, and crisis meaning a crisis. Many crisis is taking place, man. Hey, the scriptures talk about polycrises, man. Mischief shall be disaster. How's it go? Disaster shall be upon disaster. Disaster. I think it's in the book. I'll tell you, I spelled that wrong. Disaster. Okay, I ain't tripping. I I thought the word disaster was in there, unless I'm spelling it incorrectly. Hold on. I want to say it's Ezekiel 7. Let me read. Let me pull this up in the let me pull this up in the NLT real quick. Here you go. Well, this is a good one. This is Ezekiel 27 verse 25. I like it better in the NLT. It says, terror and trembling will overcome my people. They will look for peace but not find it. You see, it's going to be, that's when the scriptures tell you that the day of the Lord shall be as, you know, when one fleeth from a lion and a bear meet you. And then you get away from the bear. You know what I'm saying? You get away from the bear, then the serpent bites you. You know? Pretty much you're not gonna be able to so like you're not gonna be able to escape. Verse 26, it says, calamity will follow calamity. That's another way of saying a polycrisis. Multiple calamities, right? Rumor will follow rumor. They will look in vain for a vision from the prophets, you see? Because at that point, that's when Yahweh Bashim Shai, you think we're gonna be out there in the streets? You think Yahweh Bashim Shai gonna have us still in the highways and byways preaching at that time? When all hell breaking loose on these streets, you know, you're going to have martial law troops and blockades and, you know, militia groups and things of that nature out there in the streets. Nah, we ain't going to be out there in the streets at that time, you know. And then that's going to be right when the MOTB will either A, be issued, or B, that will be those polycrisis that will institute the mark of the beast. Whereas it will be a mandatory, it's going to be a mandate worldwide. You see? They will receive no teaching from the priest and no counsel from the leaders. You see that? And that's really like a twofold scripture, because, you know, the true prophets, the true priests and leaders, Yahweh Bashim Shai going to have us tucked away. You know, Yahweh Bashim Shai willing, we're worthy to be, you know, tucked away at that time and protected. You know, those of us that are doing this word, you know, teaching this word and doing this work in sincerity and the truth. But also, too, you're going to have these so-called false leaders. And prophets and pastors, you know, these, you know, individuals of the leadership of the IUIC, the leadership of the ISUPK, the leadership of the Sakari, the leadership of Genesis. Their congregation going to be looking to them for answers, and they're not going to have it. You see? So it's going to be, you know, it's going to be a very, very bad time. Jacob's trouble. And we're very, very, man, look, we already in Jacob's trouble, but it's just going to just continually get worse. Natural news. This is back on the first as well. Iranian MP urges nuclear weapons development, citing North Korea as model. You see, so here it is. Behold, behold, I created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. You know, and create an instrument for my work. Like I said in Isaiah 54:16, roughly paraphrasing. Okay. So Yahweh Bashim Shai is working on the minds of these rulers and these leaders, ultimately to ultimately go to war and fight one another. Okay. So I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash. I would like to give double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders, great millstone, that taught us his truth, and that's what teaching his truth. Much peace, love, and salutation to the elect of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Until next time, Lord willing, I say shalom.